The news day continues here on One News Now. I'm Bella Gregorio. The Office of the Vice President will no longer pursue its request for a 500 million peso confidential fund. During the budget deliberations at the Senate, VP Sara Duterte said they deemed the request to be divisive. As the second-in-command, Duterte noted that she, quote, swore to keep the country peaceful and strong. The issue on CIFs has taken the center stage in budget hearings the past months, with the lower house realigning the funds to security agencies.
Hindi na po ipursue, hindi na po itutuloy ng Office of the Vice President ang original na mungkahi para sa confidential funds. Bakit? Dahil po nakikita natin may tendency magkawatak-watak o magiging divisive itong issue na ito at dahil dito ang naniniwala ang ating Vice Presidente na siya ay nanumpa na panatiliing mapayapa at matatag ang bansang Pilipinas. Kaya hindi na po niya ipursue ang proposal for confidential funds.
The Office of the President's proposed 10.6 billion peso budget for 2024 has hurdled Senate interpellations. The budget includes a 4.5 billion peso worth of confidential and intelligent funds. The deliberations on the OP's budget lasted only for less than an hour. But that did not go without a back and forth between Senators Coco Pimentel and Sonny Angara on the President's proposed CIFs.
The President himself and as well as his office are consumers of intelligence already gathered and organized by the intelligence practitioners under which are the agencies, some agencies under the Office of the President in the executive branch. So that is actually my question, Mr. President. Why did the Office of the President request for intelligence funds and at the level found in the NEP, which is around 2.3 billion pesos?
That the President is both the user and generator of confidential and intelligence information. And to make, as the Commander-in-Chief, he needs to make very crucial decisions. So the importance of information cannot be understated, Your Honor.
Meanwhile, Senate President Juan Miguel Zubiri lauded the Office of the Vice President for its, quote, detailed and comprehensive report on the usage of the OVP's 2022 confidential funds. Vice President Sara Duterte attended the deliberations.
The CIF, or the Confidential Intelligence Funds report of the Office of the President, is one of the most detailed and comprehensive reports that I have seen. It is the most detailed among all the other agencies.
DepEd, which VP Sara also heads, is also not pursuing its request for a 150 peso confidential fund in 2024. In other news, Meralco is raising power rates this month on the back of higher transmission charge. Power rates will be more expensive by 23 centavos per kilowatt hour. For households consuming 200 kilowatt hours, you will see a 47 peso increase in your November electric bill. For those consuming 300 kilowatt hours, an increase of 70 pesos to 117 pesos will be added to your monthly bill. Meralco attributes this to higher transmission and ancillary charges. This is the third straight month that the power distributor hiked its electricity rate. More stories coming your way after a quick break. Stay with us. You're still watching One News Now. I'm Bel Gregorio. President Bongbong Marcos has created a national steering committee for the commemoration of the 650th anniversary of Islamic presence in the country by 2030. Under the administrative order, the committee is tasked to plan and implement programs and activities for the celebration of the Philippine Muslim history and heritage. The committee will be headed by the National Historical Commission of the Philippines and the National Commission on Muslim Filipinos. The commemoration will begin next year through 2030. Now, here's a glance at global headlines. The United States says Palestinians must govern Gaza after the war with Israel. This counters Israel's comments that it would control security indefinitely. The military says its troops have advanced into the heart of Gaza City, Hamas's main bastion and the biggest city in the seaside enclave. Street battles between both forces raged in Gaza, with Hamas fighters using tunnels to ambush Israel forces. The Vatican says transgender people can be godparents at Roman Catholic baptisms, witnesses at religious weddings, and receive baptisms themselves. The dicastery of the Doctrine of the Faith, a department in Vatican, was vague, however, on whether same-sex couples could have a church baptism for an adopted child. These were the responses to several questions by a bishop sent in July regarding LGBTQIA+ people and their participation in the baptism and matrimony. The Copernicus Climate Change Service says 2023 is guaranteed to be the hottest year on record. The agency adds that October 2023 is identified as the warmest October globally. With this, it emphasized the pressing need for urgent climate action, saying there has never been a greater sense of urgency. It also warns that elevated global temperature entails more intense calamities. In sports, the Blackwater Bossing and Meralco Balls opened their respective PBA Commissioner's Cup campaign with victories. Here's the story. A different Blackwater Bossing team showed up in their first game of the new PBA season. The Bossing jumped to a 9-point lead in the first quarter against the Converge Fiber Xers. Blackwater was even able to stretch the lead to a 27 advantage at some point. Converge was unable to put up a fight as the game ended with a final score of 103-84. Balanced scoring was key for the team, led by 21 points and 11 rebounds from import Chris Ortiz. 5 other players scored in double figures for Blackwater, a good start for a team that has not been in the playoffs in the past 2 conferences.
Because it's the first game, because there's such a long layoff, we felt like we were practicing, for a whole conference. It was very important that we come out, on a positive note, and I think the guys did that tonight. So we're very happy with them.
For their import. Oh, what a move! By Karakot!
In Game 2, the rain or shine Alaska Painters were only trailing by 2 points against the Meralco Balls in the last 3.5 minutes of the game. But they weren't able to get some crucial defensive stops. In the end, Meralco's Alain Maliksi drained 2 clutch free throws with 18 seconds left, effectively pushing the E-Painters away for good. Final score 107-102. Meralco import Suleiman Braimo led the Balls with 34 points and 14 rebounds. Chris Newsom backstopped him with 20 points. Meralco coach Luigi Trillo praised Braimo's play on both ends of the floor.
The thing with him, he's coachable, and he's not only that, he's a leader also. And you saw in the first half where he had a lot of effort placed defensively, that once he starts doing it, it's contagious. Obviously, you saw what he could do in offense, but the thing I'm most proud about with him is his defense.
Commissioner's Cup action resumes on Friday at the Smart Araneta Coliseum. First to play are the Terra Firma Jeep and the Northport Batang Pier at 4 p.m. before the NLEX Road Warriors and Phoenix Fuel Masters take the stage at 8 p.m. Catch those games live on Signal TV and the A2Z channel. One News Now will be back at 6 p.m. with the day's latest stories. See you then. I'm Bel Gregorio. We are One News.